So, you missed the Medicare open enrollment period, but now you're having issues with your insurance and you want to make some changes. So you're probably thinking, can I make changes now that the open enrollment period is over? And so the quick answer is yes. The long answer is yes if you qualify for a special election period. And so you may be thinking, what's a special election period? Well, in this video, I am going to answer what a special election period is, and give you some just couple of examples of what you can use as a special election period. And so if you are new to any of my videos, my name is Katrice-The. I am a licensed health insurance broker. I am licensed in 9 states, and I am also the founder of INSURE Black America, where my mission is to close the coverage gap in healthcare for Black Americans. Alrighty, so special election periods. Special election periods are they are a time frame that you get if you have a qualifying event so that you can enroll or make changes to your insurance, your health insurance. Okay. And so if you missed the Medicare open enrollment, well, the Medicare annual enrollment period, the Medicare annual enrollment period, then now you would need a special election period in order to make any changes to your Medicare insurance. Okay. And so there's about 10, I think there's about 10 special election periods that Medicare allows you to use. I'm going to go over 2 of them today. So if you qualify for 2 of them and you need to make for one of these 2, and you need to make some changes, I can definitely help you out with making those changes. Okay, so the first one is changes in your residential address. Okay, so if you have moved, now when you say moved, they don't mean like you move from say you move like around the corner or down the street a little ways. No, they mean that you have changed. When you've changed your address, it means that you have moved outside of the service area for the current plan that you're in. Okay. And so now this applies not only to Medicare Advantage plans, because a lot of times when you talk about SEPs, people think you're only talking about the Medicare Advantage plans. But this also applies to the prescription drug plans as well. Because not all prescription drug plans operate in all areas. And so if you move outside of your plan service area, whether it's a Medicare Advantage plan or a prescription drug plan, then you qualify for an SEP because you no longer are in the plan service area. If you have been out of state, out of country, if you've moved out of the country and you've lived out of the country for quite a while, and now you decide that you're going to move back into the United States, then you qualify for a SEP for that. If you move in and out of an institution, so if you move into, say you're going to a nursing home and you live in a nursing home for a while, and then you get better or whatever the situation may be, and then you move out of the nursing home back into a different residence, private residence, whatever, that qualifies you for an SCP. And then if you were incarcerated and then you got released, that also qualifies you for a SCP under the changes in your residential address. Okay. And then the other one that I want to go over is if you lose your current coverage. So if you have Medicare, and say you're still working, and so you're still working, but you have Medicare, and then now you have Medicare, maybe you have Part A, but then you have job insurance as well, so you get your Part B from that. Your Part B benefits come from your job insurance. Okay, so you decide to retire and you move, and so you're letting go of your job coverage, then that qualifies you for a special election period. Now, if you decide that you want to keep, so you're retiring from your job and you decide that you want to keep the COBRA, okay, then when it comes to the special election period for Medicare, COBRA is not recognized as your coverage. So like you don't get a special election period. Like if you decide to quit to take the COBRA, and so you're still keeping the job insurance that you had, when the COBRA is done, you don't get another, you don't qualify for the losing your current coverage, okay? Because the loss of current coverage was when you stopped, it wasn't employer sponsored anymore, okay? Because when you take COBRA, you're paying the full price. So it's like you have private insurance, okay? So that it doesn't constitute as you losing coverage. So if you're going to qualify or use this SEP, it has to be when you lose actual coverage from the employer sponsored coverage, okay? Now, you not being able, you would qualify for an SEP, but that's something totally different that I would have to go through in another video. But just under this particular SEP, you would not qualify, okay? I hope I did not confuse anybody. If I did confuse, I'll do a knowledge check. My mentor, she says her mom was a teacher, and her mom, did knowledge checks. Miss Keisha Bass, and she says her mom did knowledge check. She would go over something and then do like a knowledge check to make sure that the kids were understanding. So I like that. I thought that was a cool idea, so I'm gonna adopt that. So knowledge check. If you understood that, if you have any questions on that, put it in the comments below. If you did not understand the lose current coverage with the COBRA and all that, because it can be kind of confusing. And if need to, I'll do an actual separate video just explaining that. Okay. All right. So also, if you were to involuntarily lose your prescription drug coverage, so say you again, like if you had no. So with this SCP, okay, when it comes to Medicare, if say you had your prescription drug coverage through XYZ company and they went out of business, or they their contract with Medicare did not get renewed, then that would be you involuntarily losing your coverage, and so that would give you a SCP so that you can find another drug plan. Okay. Also, if you were to lose, if you had a Medicare cost plan, and you had drug coverage through that cost plan, then you would qualify for that, through that. And then if you were in the PACE program, and that is a program that you get nursing home style care, but you get to stay in a community, you get to stay in your home. And if you lost that type of coverage, that PACE coverage, that will qualify you for an SCP so that you can find something else, to cover your needs. Okay. And so those are just two of the many SCP. There's about 10, I think, SCPs that you can qualify for, that you can use if you did not make a selection during the annual enrollment period. Okay. And so I hope you found value in this video. If you did, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and press the bell so that you'll get notified when I upload new videos. Also, share this out on your socials. Share it out on your socials. You never know who may be looking for insurance, or who may be wondering if they can make a change now. Share this video so that they can get that information. And also, if you If you are wondering if you qualify for a special election period, or if you have questions about your current policy, you just need some clarification, you can schedule an appointment, a free health needs assessment with me, and you can go to INSUREBlackAmerica.com. You can go to INSUREBlackAmerica.com and you can schedule a free health needs assessment with me. Alrighty, so you guys have a great rest of your day. I will see you on the next video, and I want you to remember that us together, we can close the coverage gap in healthcare for Black Americans. You guys stay safe. See you on the next video.